Good morning. It's we're starting another work week, and we got a lot going on today. Um, Today is all about finding your flow. Um, what was that thing again? Hold on, sorry, it's a Monday. Finding your flow in your art, moments of true connection. So, been thinking a lot about this. I just couldn't remember the prompt there. Um, so the journaling prompt is all about finding that flow and really um it's all about dedicating time for yourself even when and I've said that before, but it's a little deeper than that, right? It's all about even when your motivation is low, like you really just don't feel like working on your art stuff, you just need some downtime. And I did take a lot of downtime this weekend. But I did go into my art studio and I die cutted a few more things that I may or may not use today. I'm not die cutting a lot of things all at once, only because I'm just not sure where this journey's gonna go, and I don't wanna be left with a bunch of die cuts that I could have used the jelly prints for something else. So I just die cut a little bit more. But I also cleaned up a lot of my die cuts, organized them, um, ones that I kind of was like, well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to use those anymore. So I'll put those away, things like that. So even when your motivation is low, working on little things that keep you still connected with your art is really making time for yourself. So I have, I have a couple friends who are on this journey with me. Um, that we've done collabs with on Craft Showdown, Kara Brandon Creations. Go check out her videos every day. She is mask making and junk journaling and things like that. I have Paper Crafty Denise. She is doing some things there over on her channel for this 100-day project. And let's not forget about Gracie with the Serendipitous Crafter. She's really working. She'll have a couple of videos and she's really working on some junk journals. And I'm sure there's other people in my community that are also working on a 100-day journey for themselves. So if I forgot you, my apologies. But the point is that even when your motivation is low, go and make a few things that will help you speed up your process later down the road. So good morning, Christina. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that. So one second. Okay. So we start last what was it, Thursday? On Thursday, I had covered this canvas board up, put some tissue paper on it. Um, I'm gonna cover this other one. This is one of my jelly prints that I did on my son's school papers, and I just really liked all the different colors in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and uh, cut this down, and we're gonna glue this. And while it's drying, we'll go back to this other one. Now I am still working on those jelly prints for this other project that I wanted to share. So maybe I'll get to that. I won't get to that today, but hopefully I'll get to it this week. There's a lot going on this week. Um, I am going to be traveling this week, and the and so I'm going to try to take this on the road with me. And you know what? It's going to be a little bit of a hot mess as I try to figure out how I'm going to go live while I'm traveling. Um, Not that I don't want to go live, but it's just this journey. I want to try it and see what happens. There may be a day where I'm like, you know what, guys, this just isn't happening, and so therefore I'll catch you when I get back from my travels. But I'm gonna really try. I'm definitely packing up some collage items. I And, I'm going to pack up my glue and the whole 9 yards. Like, we're going to do the thing. So, that's the plan. All right, let's go ahead and get this going. Okay, that lid finally fell off. Love it. I'm really liking the notebook paper. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm liking it because it really lays on the boards really nicely. I love how you could take a jelly print that you don't really like, and when you cut it down, it becomes a whole new jelly print. And looking at it, and I just made a mess there. Yeah. Because I wasn't thinking. I know Christina was probably like, Sherry, um, you just put glue on that and you just turned it upside down. That did not make sense. All right, we'll let that dry. The other thing I did as well is I have a lot of jelly prints. I have a lot of jelly prints that figure that out, Sherry. Okay. That have little scraps of jelly prints, and so I'm definitely going to use those today. Traveling for work or fun. So my travel is going to be for fun. Um, one of the things that I'm learning how to use is a large quilting machine. It's called a long arm, and I'm going on some classes to learn how to use that machine. It's quite the beast, and just trying to put this lid back on. But hey, all right. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if Christina, if you've seen some of my videos where I have jelly printed on fabric, and I've created a few collages. There's a few things about jelly printing on fabric. But and then when I'm not jelly printing on fabric, I do go on quilt retreats with my mother, and it's just a her daughter mother time. And I wasn't really going to get into quilting, to be quite honest, but it was the way to connect with my mom. And so going on that and learning from her as she learned from her mother, um yeah, I do enjoy it. I see it as like fabric is kind of like paper, you know, just different techniques that you have to do as far as how you put things together. So, um, she has a long arm, and I want to learn how to use that machine and see where it goes. So, all right. One of the other things I was wanting to do, and I didn't get it out in time because I wasn't paying attention, is I want to use some texture paste. So you'll have to forgive me for getting set up here. I was thinking about using some of the texture paste on this particular um, board. Just a matter of finding which ones I want to use. You know, Tim Holtz is a really he likes to keep his things nice and neat and clean, and there's something to be said for that. As whereas I yeah, not doing it, but I like how he keeps all his stencils clean and nice and neat. I'm gonna add some texture paste here. So we'll let this dry a little bit. And the thing I like about Tim Holtz also is he encourages you to use the supplies. Don't hoard it. So I'm gonna try to subscribe to that philosophy. Don't hoard my supplies. Okay. Get on there. But yeah, I don't clean my stencils either. You can see this one's well loved. In fact, I probably have texture paste on it. That's okay. We're doing the thing. We are doing it. All right. So these are my little scraps, and that one's over there drying. We're going to take a look at, I'll get that back up there. So, does anybody have any big plans for this week? Like I said, I'll be going out of town, but Christina, do you have any big plans this week besides work? What's up there? I don't know if you see this. There's a little bird on here. Um, so I'm struggling with that guy just a little bit. I don't really like where he's placed. But you know what? He might just get covered up because that's just what I do. Nope, not really. So another way of connecting back through art, besides setting time for yourself, even when your motivation is low, um, is just try to be there. I know that's kind of like the same thing. Sorry. But I guess where I was going is sometimes just setting that time aside, and I'm just trying to I'm connecting with my art right now, so I'm having trouble with thoughts. Um so what did I want to say about that? Oh, music. If you are wanting some interaction or having the TV on, trying to connect with your art, it's kind of like a distraction, but if you can't be with yourself in a quiet space, you know, that's another technique that I have used in the past. When I was kind of piddling around in my art studio yesterday and die cutting some things, I was watching a YouTube video. Now, the YouTube video, um, I like the person, or I wouldn't be watching their channel, but it was mindless, if that makes sense. So for example, if I was watching um a YouTube video where I was learning something, then I couldn't do it. That's too much of a distraction. But sometimes some of these YouTube videos, um, you can follow along with them, and they may have a lot of music in their video. Um, and so those are the ones that I tend to when I'm trying to do more than one thing. Um, and I wasn't really trying to connect with my art. I was just trying to take time to in my space, if you will. Another thing is every I don't really have to set up for these lives every morning because my space is already set up for these lives. And I have a YouTube video that's coming out for that on how I set up for my time, but it'll come out in a, we're just in the editing phase right now. Um, but it'll come out shortly on how I set up for these lives and set up my space to be, um, sorry, I just got distracted by this orange square. I like it, but not there. So I forgot what I was saying. Piddling around in my studio, I was able to watch a YouTube video. But if I'm trying to do more than one thing, like right now, I'm kind of connecting with my art, so I'm getting distracted and forgetting what I'm saying. Um, so that is, yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Christina, I've often watched declaring videos to stay motivated. Yes. Yes, I do the same. Um, not a lot, but I do, and the reason why is because 'cause I'm pretty organized as it is, and, that's just part of my nature, is but then there's those times where you gotta set time aside to declutter and play with your things, and going back to quilting, there's a saying about, um, touching the fabric, right? And being connected to the fabric, and it's kinda like that with my art materials. It's like when I was messing with the die cuts yesterday, touching those, organizing those, that's another way of right decluttering and organizing your space is another way of connecting through your art. So you don't always have to be making art, is my point. You could be doing other things. So okay, all right, let's drive on over here. I know that looks like a white piece of paper on the video, but it's got some purple in it. You just can't really see it. All right, we're just gonna set that over there. We're gonna get into this one. And there was that orange square. Where did it go? Get in there. Oh, 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 oh. Don't you mess with me, Mr. Tissue Paper. Oh, I like this one too. Won't need it that long. Oh, where am I going to go with this? Oh, yep, found you. Sorry. Um, Using these organic shapes versus the die cuts requires a little bit more thought in my head. The die cuts kind of because they're while they're organic shapes, but they're this is a die cut versus torn edges and that kind of thing. Um, it's requiring a little bit more thought. Sorry, so I'm a little quiet today for some reason. Um, yeah, I like no, no, nope, 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 nope. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have more tissue paper. I kind of like that. All right. Nope. I'm gonna go back. I don't care if it's upside down. Who knows where it will be when I'm done with it. And I was looking at some of these other die cuts here. So there was oh, I need some more contrasty colors. That goes in there like that. Good old yellow. Not seeing the reds. I don't see any more like red die cuts. Oh, there's one. Oh, here's another one. Woohoo! Okay, let's see. Not sure where I'm gonna really stick this. I don't want to be in the middle. I think I'm gonna do it at the edge. And as I said before, I like things in threes or odd numbers, so looking for another one. Maybe what happens if oh, like it. Over here, back over here for focal point. There's a lot going on this one. The background just really is the background is really what makes this I think this back makes the this panel. There's a lot going on, so it doesn't need a lot of gel prints. Whereas this one, there's a lot going on this one as well. Oh, there's a blue one. Let's see. Will that work? How will that work? That might work right there. Bring that back in here. I want it in the center of the white, maybe. Okay. There's a yellow. Put that back in there. Oh, look, there's another yellow. Oh, how did that brush hair get on there? Get off of there. Nope. Let's see. What does this one do? This is a little blue. Yeah, not happening. What happens if we do this? No. Interesting. Is this dry? That is dry. I think I'm going to. Oh, we're almost out of time, but I think I'm going to do one more thing. So we might go just slightly over today. So give me 1 second. The good old trusty Tim Holtz crayons. Woohoo! I just want to add a little bit of orange onto this. Water. Okay, get off of there, you brush hair. I see you. Off my thing. It's not as intense as I would like, but we're going to make it happen. That's because I used water and I was rubbing it off, but all right. It definitely needs some yellow, but we're going to let it dry and then maybe I'll come back tomorrow with some yellow on it. It definitely, yeah, I think it needs just a little bit of yellow. Oh, I cannot stop. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Give it like a yellow orange vibe going on. Yep. Love it. Okay. Put those up in a minute. Okay, so as you can see today was very difficult for me to um talk during the live as I was connecting with my art. Um so when you have a real connection with your art, you're not easily distracted, and yet here I'm trying to do a live at the same time. So multitasking just wasn't my thing today. But having said that, um when your motivation is low, go into your art room and touch all the things. That will help. Um You don't have to make anything. You could just be organizing, or you could just be, just as they call it in quilting, is petting the fabric or touching the fabric. So that's kind of like the same thing. You could just be taking your jelly prints, or you could just be taking your art materials and not necessarily organizing them, but just connecting with them through sensory, right? Touching and feeling, maybe swatching something out, just mindless connection to your art will really help you with that low motivation and get you back in your groove. So, with that, I hope everyone has a great Monday. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe this video so that it gets pushed out to more people. And March 29th is the Q&A calls with me. So if you want to be part of the Q&A call, we will get together on a Google Meet. And if you want to be part of that community where you can ask all your questions, feel free to go join my community. The link is in the description below, and be glad to have you as part of the team. And also, there's some journaling prompts over there, and I've been answering the journaling prompts just to show you my insights of how I think about things. It's a safe place. And if you don't feel comfortable journaling, in a community forum like that, drop some artwork in there. It's okay. We want to see what you're creating, and all these artists want to get together and they just want to inspire each other. And if you resonate with whatever I wrote, feel free to make sure you comment on that. Um, it might give me a different perspective on how to look at things. So, this community is just really about cheering each other on, finding our own path through creativity and mindfulness. So, have a great Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.